Chloeans. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to the returning subscribers. I truly appreciate y'all's loyalty. Y'all loyal, y'all beautiful, y'all everything nice and sugar and spice. And to my new viewers, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is VULO and you are tuned into VULO Vlogs. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already done so, and if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Check out some of my previous content and give that a thumbs up if you like it as well. So today I've decided to give you guys the pink cut crease. However, I also want to discuss something that's really close and dear to my heart, and something that pops up in my suggestions quite a lot. Every time I put up a poll or a questionnaire on my Instagram or even on my WhatsApp, people respond asking for mental health advice. People respond asking for content that's pertaining to mental health and how you can overcome mental health issues and stuff like that. So I decided to dedicate today's video and a couple of other videos that I'll be doing in future as well to just discussing some tips that help me overcome anxiety that I've faced in the past and currently, and also just ways in which I stay positive or try and stay above the water and rise above. So I made a list of 10 tips that work for me, and I really hope that you can learn from it. I really hope that you can relate to it. I really hope that you can engage with it, and I really hope that at the end of this video you feel like you've learned something, you feel like you've taken something away from this video other than just makeup skills. So let's get straight into the video. I started by priming my face with the Pond's Firming Serum Mask. I've been really loving these masks. Secondly, I also primed my lips with the Max Factor Miracle Prep Lip Scrub and then also a Vaselina, because we do not want chipped lips this year, okay? We want moist, nourished, plump, apple lips. So I'm going to start off with my primer. I'm going to be using the Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Primer. I'm also pretty much trying this out. It's a gel primer, so I'm pretty keen to see how it's going to last, if it's going to be better than the Wet n Wild one or the Estee Lauder one, which I basically always use, or if it's going to offer something new. Right, so next up I'm going to go in with my Black Opal Soft Velvet Setting Powder in the color Dark, the shade number 600, and this is just to add an extra layer of coverage and also just to add an extra layer of shine control. And then the first thing that I also want to discuss as I do that is identifying triggers. What I've noticed is that it's very important to identify your triggers, because a lot of the time when you're busy dealing with anxiety, sometimes you're just sad and you don't know what is causing the anxiety, or you fall into a state of depression and you're unaware, you're sort of ignorant, or let me rather say oblivious to the causes of your anxiety. And sometimes what can deal with your anxiety is a simple change of friends, for example. Or it could be a change of scenery, it could be a change of routine, it could be a change in your diet. Yes, you do get foods and drinks. Sometimes alcohol is also a depressant. You do get foods that serve as depressants for certain people. Certain blood types react certain ways to certain foods. Look it up. But all in all, irrespective of the nitty-gritties of it, it's very important to identify your triggers so that you can either avoid them. It's completely okay to avoid your triggers. It is not cowardice. It is certainly not running away from facing your issues. It's a survival mechanism, and sometimes it's what stands between life and death as a person who is living with anxiety and severe depression, or even entry-level depression. I feel like sometimes avoiding your triggers can serve as a survival mechanism, and that's a very important thing to be able to do to survive. Usually when you've faced a traumatic incident, for example, and it's still very fresh, you tend to be very sensitive. And sometimes even when it's not fresh, when it's been years, it's been very beneficial for me to identify triggers and stay away from them, to let my people also know that, hey guys, listen, this triggers me, please don't do this, please don't say that, please just navigate your way around them. And I know that sometimes you may feel like you're asking too much of people, but at the end of the day, if they're your people, I feel like they will be able to sort of do what needs to be done in order to avoid triggering you, and of course vice versa. The second thing that I wanted to talk about with regards to like managing anxiety and staying and staying positive is how I feel like our generation, especially like in terms of millennials and the new generation that's coming up, and I'm sure that our parents dealt with this as well, but this issue of comparison, I feel like we have this issue of wanting what the other one has, and that is one of the biggest causes of anxiety, whether we like to admit it or not. I mean, that's the main reason why we tell ourselves certain things, because we set time limits that are based off of other people's success rate or other people's dreams or other people's expectations of us. So I'm going in with my Revolution palette, and I'm going to start off with this deep pink over here. So I had to come to terms with the fact that if the plan doesn't pop, I popanga, and that's okay. You know, you're still breathing, so you're not done. Once I eventually got to that phase where I became so oblivious to other people's, well, not necessarily oblivious, because I still look to other people for motivation, but I became so oblivious to our differences and looked more for mentorship in other people's success and motivation and stuff and so forth. And only then was I able to sort of find reasons to bask in gratitude and just contentment. I was able to then find my peace and find my happiness. So I'm going to cut my crease now with the Revolution Makeup Conceal and Hydrate Concealer in the shade 0, which is basically white. So point number 3 is essentially finding reasons to bask in gratitude and contentment. Now, something really painful and awkward happened when I came back to school this year. I bumped into an old classmate. So brother man asks me like, yo, Irene, you must be doing your master's by now. And I'm just like, no, actually, doing my final year. It was in that moment that I had to find a reason to be grateful. It's moments like that. It's always these little moments. Next up, I'm going to go back into my Beauty Bay palette, and I'm going to be dabbling between these 3 shades of pink, these bright shades of pink, or pastel shades of pink, really. So my point in all of this is that you count your blessings where you can. Don't compare yourself to other people. You're not other people, they are not you. It's just going to steal your joy, and that's not what we're trying to achieve this year, or any other year for that matter. But everybody has their reasons. Just find your reasons to be content, and find your reasons to be happy with the life that you have, the life that you find yourself in today, because that's all you have. You're not going to have anybody else's life other than your own. So find ways to make your life bright. Find ways to live in your version or variation or rendition of the bright side. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my Revolution palette, and I'm just going to dip into the metallic pink shades. And I'm going to use that to create a sort of smoked out effect on the ends of the crease, and just to blend it out as well, so that it doesn't look like stark, like, okay, there's the crease, there's the end. Point number 4 is to stop doubting yourself and start believing that you deserve good things to happen to you. This is something that I also struggled with a lot growing up, especially. I ended up not being somebody who had a high self-esteem. Yes, I was confident in the eyes of everyone else, and I, you know, was bubbly and all of that jazz, but in all fairness, just about everyone who deals with anxiety, you'll find that it's often the bubbly people, because that's also for us and I say us because this is still something that I'm learning to overcome. I don't think the journey to overcoming anxiety is ever linear. I don't think it ever has been, and I think in some cases as well, a lot of the cases, it's never something that you fully get over, but you learn to manage it, and you learn to overcome it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, throughout different phases of your life. You learn to overcome it, and you learn to deal with it, you know, and that's okay. That's totally okay. So I didn't believe that I deserved good things. And that's another thing that haunts anxious people. You know, you see celebrities reaping the benefits of their hard work. Some people even see me reaping the benefits of my hard work, and you don't believe that that could ever happen to you, or that it should ever happen to you. Why? I read this other tweet the other day that we need to normalize good things happening to us and do away with this notion that you have to struggle and fight and, you know, bleed and go through multiple traumatic incidences in order for you to deserve a good life. You know, we need to do away with that. And that's not to say that you must be lazy now and just wait for things to fall in your lap. But I mean, if you're a hardworking person, if I'm a hardworking person, why don't I deserve nice things? Whether it be that I give them to myself or that they're rewarded to me by somebody else, why shouldn't I deserve those things? It just goes to Lando Bana, like, you know, sometimes you just need to say, I deserve this, and give it to yourself, or allow it to be given to you. Because why not? Why don't you deserve it? You know, even when people do believe that they don't deserve things, you find that they don't have a reason as to why they don't deserve it. They just believe that they don't deserve it. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. You deserve it, babe. You deserve it. You deserve nice things. We all deserve nice things, especially if it's something that you really desire in your heart of hearts, and it's something that you've been praying about. It doesn't even have to be that deep. Like, you deserve good things happening to you, and it needs to be something that you truly believe. It needs to be something that resonates within your soul, and it needs to be something that you believe in your heart of hearts. Because when you speak things out into the universe, when you have a certain mentality, you attract certain things, you attract certain vibes. And it's really unfair for you to attract poor vibes to yourself. So believe it. Next up, I'm going to be concealing my spots with the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Concealer in the shade C13. The next point that I'm going to be speaking on is complaining. I personally do not like complaining, and I think it's one of my pet peeves, like people who complain. I don't dislike the person, I dislike the habit. I don't like complain. Stop complaining. Don't complain. And at some point I was also a complainer, but not like, yo, I don't like this, yo, why is she like that, but in the sense of, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me, blah 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 blah. I had that victim mentality, and I feel like complaining to a certain extent is victim mentality. It's okay to understand that you're a victim in certain situations, but then when you're gonna allow that victimhood to take over your life, when are you gonna get to the point of healing? And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have space for grief, or space for shock, or space for, you know, the emotions that come with victimhood. I'm not saying that at all. Take the time that you need to be shocked. Take the time that you need to mourn. Take the time that you need to be sad. But at the end of it all, find solutions and then move on. Before I move on from this point, I also wanted to mention the power of the tongue. The tongue is mighty powerful in the sense that when you speak the bright side into existence, it usually does happen. I've mentioned this in a previous video as well, where ever since I started having this mentality of living on the bright side, where it's like, okay, worst case scenario, last year when I found out I had a tumor, I was depressed and it gutted me. But I got to a point where I was like, okay, on the bright side, it's benign, it is not cancerous. On the bright side, there is treatment. And I had a really strong support system, you know. I failed 2 years in a row. On the bright side, I got back into varsity. On the bright side, I was eventually able to get accommodation. On the bright side, I am now well on my way to completing this degree and getting out of varsity and getting on with the rest of my life, you know. I feel like the negative parts of our lives, yes, they happen, but they really don't deserve the best of us. So don't give your power over to the negativity. Don't do it. Okay, so at the top of my eyebrows, I've just gone in with my Fast Base Concealer again. And the foundations that I'm mixing are both from Revlon. The first one being the Revlon Color Stay Life Proof Matte Foundation. It's a stick foundation in the shade Mocha, or color code 450. And then the second one is the Revlon Candid Photo Ready Foundation. It's a liquid foundation, also mattifying, and it is in the shade Pecan or the code 513. Okay, so I've just blended in my foundation and I'm just going to go in with a damp beauty blender. The next point, the sixth point that I wanted to mention is the importance of being kind to yourself. Like, I don't know why it is, but as humans, we have this wild tendency of being super empathetic and learning to develop love languages towards other people. But when it comes to ourselves, it's just like foreign news. Like, we don't do that to ourselves. And I don't know why exactly that happens. One thing that I had to learn in order to kick my anxiety to the curb and to become more positive and remain positive as well is to be kind to myself. Ever since becoming solo in this YouTube game, I felt a lot of pressure to like deliver and completely like disregarding the fact that, you know, I've got a life outside of YouTube. Not that YouTube is not as important, but I feel like to my well-being, YouTube comes secondary. Everything else actually comes secondary to my well-being. I had to get to a point where, you know what, I wasn't so hard on myself. If I miss a deadline, it's okay. And it would be things that are completely out of control that would throw me off. Things such as like weak Wi-Fi. Things such as like the video just like literally randomly taking forever to upload and me not knowing why. Things such as, you know, copyright claims and having to remove a video shortly after uploading it. Things like that, things that are completely out of my control. And I just was really, really hard on myself. And I had to get to a point where I was just like, you know what? It's okay, you know, it's okay. So I'm just like basically asking you guys to learn to give yourselves the same amount of respect, understanding, and empathy that you offer to other people. Offer that to yourself as well. And believe you me, you will be surprised how much your life will change. You'll be surprised how much your outlook on life will change. You'll be surprised how much your work ethic will change, how much you'll be doing things differently, man. You'll really be surprised at how much of a game changer changing your mentality is. And also just like making sure that the people around you are also people who keep it real, but are also like empathetic with you and understand your emotional level as well. You got to be on the same wavelength with the people around you. They need to be kind to you. You need to be kind to them. Y'all need to be kind to each other and to yourselves, respectively. Keep the same energy with other people, with yourself. Okay? That was my highlighting concealer, the Revlon Color Stay concealer in the shade number 60, which is deep. And then I'm going to be contouring with the Revlon Color Stay concealer, but in the shade Espresso, which is number 18. Now, point number 7 speaks on being yourself and loving it. Now, you can't be yourself if you don't know who you are. The same amount of energy you put into getting to know your significant other, the same amount of energy that you put into getting to know your friends, you need to put that energy into getting to know yourself as well. You know, you are an individual before you are a partner. You yourself need to first understand that. Getting to know yourself can be tricky, but it also gets to a point where it is extremely fun, and it gets to a point where it is so fulfilling. You need to also enjoy being yourself. You know, a lot of the time as well, growing up, I didn't really know who I was. Part of it was because of the type of household that I grew up in. We grew up speaking a lot of languages. Like, to this day, I don't know what my mother tongue is. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that it's English, because that's the very first language that I learned. However, I also feel like I would be betraying the other parts of my heritage if I were to just say English is my mother tongue and just completely, I feel like I would be disregarding like the Swati in me, the Shona in me, the Afrikaans in me, the Xhosa in me, you know? But at the same time, which one am I supposed to choose when both of my parents are like jumbled up heritage? So, beloveds, it is extremely important to get to know yourself so that, number one, you don't allow yourself to be a doormat. You don't allow people to treat you any which way and any which how. And also so that you don't treat people some type of way either. You need to know what you stand for so that you don't fall for anything. But also so that you know how to introduce yourself to the world. You need to know who you are so that you can know what you want to put out there, first of all. And secondly, so that you can know what you want to accept and what you will not accept. And that comes with knowing yourself, being yourself, and being absolutely unapologetic about that. I'm awkward. My friends understand me the way that I am. I understand me, and it's completely okay. I'm totally happy with where I am right now in terms of my self-awareness and my self-acceptance. I am totally at a good point in that regard. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into my soft velvet setting powder in the shade Dark so that I can set my under eyes and my forehead and my chin. I'm gonna use the same beauty blender because there's still some clean space. Point number 8 in this is that you need to also find your tribe and make sure that your tribe or friend circle or support system is made up of supportive people. There's nothing worse than being hard on yourself and then on top of that having people around you who are completely unempathetic, who are completely unsympathetic and completely misunderstand you. Whether it be an intimate partner, whether it be your family, whether it be your friends, whether it be even yourself, you need to choose supportive people to be in your life and be very careful of the people that surround you. Bonang once said that, you know, the 5 closest people around you are usually the people who influence your persona and your life the most. And I actually can't really fault that. I can't find any fault in that statement. Whether we like to admit it or not, our friends and our families are our biggest influences because they're the people that we spend the most time with. They're the people who shape us. So if you're choosing an environment that isn't conducive to a positive you, you're gonna be battling with things such as anxiety for a very long time, and it's gonna be tough on you. So you need to make sure that the people that you choose are people that choose you, okay? People who maintain the energy, keep the same energy as you. I feel like our friends and our families, our tribes, the people around us, all come together to form a puzzle. This one won't have the same characteristics and won't play the same role as this one, and that's why when they come together and they fit together, they give you what you need. There's never really any need to be bad blood unless like there was some sort of betrayal or some sort of, I don't know, bad blood causing incidents. I don't feel like there's ever a need to have any bad blood. We're adults. Relationships don't always work out, and that's okay. So next up, I'm going to go into my bronzing palette from All Women, which is a Foschini Beauty brand. I'm going to go in with my contouring brush using the shade over here. I'm not sure what the shade is called, but it is quite pigmented. So I'm not going to go in with a heavy hand. Ooh. I really like contouring with both the cream and the powder. I've never really contoured with just the powder. I think I might try it sometime soon and see how that works out for me. But for now though, I really like my contouring technique. I feel like it doesn't do too much. And then you also, you know, dust off the nose or wrap up the nose. Add the finishing touches and all that jazz. Woo, girl. And of course, don't forget your forehead. Go in with a very light hand. I feel like most contouring powders are actually quite pigmented, so there's really no need to like go in with a heavy hand. But you know, do you. And then I'm gonna go in with my blush from Revlon, which is the Very Berry shade. Point number 9, ladies and gentlemen, is the importance of giving yourself time. Now, it goes back to the whole comparison thing as well, where people are so quick to compare themselves to people who are busy making it in life at a young age. You know, we've got influencers these days who, you know, are young and are making it in life. You know, you've got people who are, I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to seem as though I'm throwing shade at anybody. I am absolutely not. Like I said, these are the same people that I look up to, that I find inspiration from. And I'm just trying to highlight that this is the same mentality that you could approach looking towards them. So instead of looking towards them in a sense of, oh my gosh, why isn't my life like that? You can look at them in a healthier sense instead. So next up, I'm going to go back into my contouring palette. It's actually a contouring and highlighting palette. Oh, it says Bronze Goddess. And I'm going to be highlighting with these two shades. These are actually two of my favorite shades. I feel like they go with my skin tone so well. The setting spray that I'll be using is the Natural Finish setting spray from Wet n Wild. Ladies and gents, this is the final look. Thank you so much for tuning in until this far. But before I end off this video, I just wanted to end up with number 10 on the list of things that keep my anxiety at bay and things that also help me stay positive. And that is understanding that there is no recipe to this life thing. There's no recipe to conquering it all. There's no recipe whatsoever. Some days you get it right, some days your anxiety wins, some days you win, and that's okay. Learn to take it one day at a time. If you can't face it all today, if you don't conquer it all today, that's okay. What I sometimes do is, and it's not a good thing, what I sometimes do is that I get stuck in the notion that I need to get this done, but I know that I'm too tired to do it, but I don't want to sleep because I feel guilty for sleeping. So then I end up staying up, not doing it because I'm too tired to do it, but not sleeping because I don't want to sleep, because then I feel like I feel bad because I'm not getting a task done, which not only deprives me of sleep, but it also doesn't get the job done. So by the time the morning comes, I'm still sleep deprived, my work still isn't done, and it's a lose-lose situation. So I'm learning to understand that it's okay to sleep and rest. This brings us to the end of this video, VULOians. Thank you so much for watching until this point. I really hope that you enjoyed the makings of this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, please. Let me know in the comment section down below if you learned anything from it. If there's anything that I maybe didn't mention that really works for you, maybe I could learn something from you. And you know, if you just related to the video and you don't have 2 cents to add, that's totally fine as well. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really hoping that we can have more of these interactive, meaningful conversations, because at the end of the day, these are conversations that we need to have. These are conversations that I feel like my generation has vowed to start opening up a table for, and I would really love to use my platform as a means to expand that conversation and extend on it and offer my input, especially where I've got experience, and maybe also offer other people a platform as well, and offer other people a way in which they can offer their input as well. So let me know in the comment section down below. I really love engaging with you guys, and I really enjoy the feedback as well, so that I can know when I'm doing things right. It's the first time I'm doing things this way, so let me know. Otherwise, darling, I will catch you on the flip side. Subscribe, like, comment. Bye.